The jury hears a confused 911 call made an hour after an Essex woman was killed in a double homicide. And streetcar 351 to shut down.
That to me is what it is, nonsense. Pure and simple, it's nonsense.
Why a new multi-million-dollar Riverfront attraction will close its doors for the season.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us both on CTV Windsor and AM 800. New details are slowly emerging in the death of a young woman from Essex. A trial is underway in Welland for the man accused in the death of Juliana Panunzio and her friend from Toronto. Joining me tonight with the latest details on this is Michelle Molesky. Michelle.
Yeah, Stefanie, unfortunately today the trial was adjourned for the day, but yesterday in court we heard the 911 call made more than an hour after a double shooting. A call the Crown says that consists of dishonesty and false information. A Welland jury has heard the 9-minute 911 call made by Heidi Baller on January 19th, 2021. It got kind of out of hand, Baller says. Some people came for I don't know who they are, and shots were fired. According to the Crown, the call was made an hour after Juliana Panunzio of Essex and Christine Crooks of Toronto were shot inside this short-term rental on Niagara Parkway. Baller told 911 she posted an open invitation on social media. I don't know who came, and I just want to make sure everything is okay, I'm really freaked. Baller's call is frantic and at times confused as she drives back to her home in Toronto after a night of partying. She says she doesn't know who the shooter was or if anyone was hurt. I feel like I'm really traumatized right now, Baller says, before asking 911 to provide her with updates on the police investigation. Prosecutors say that call is, quote, riddled with lies and omissions. Baller, the jury learned, hosted the party that night for her friend, Trevor Barnett. She took direction from Trevor Barnett, the Crown told the jury, about the story she should tell instead of telling the truth. The jury has learned Baller pleaded guilty to accessory after the fact and obstruction of justice in October 2024 for her involvement in the cover-up. Barnett also pleaded guilty to the same offenses. The Crown says they will present evidence about Crooks's blood being found on Barnett's shoelaces, but they don't believe he was the shooter. The jury has also learned surveillance video from a neighboring home picked up footage of someone running from a car and throwing something into the river. However, nothing was found after a search by the Niagara Police dive team. Stefanie, the trial is currently scheduled to resume tomorrow morning.
Okay, Michelle Molesky with our top story. Thank you for this coverage tonight.
You're welcome.
Windsor police are looking for help identifying a suspect in an East End vehicle theft. The surveillance video was taken shortly before midnight on October 11th. Police say the suspect broke into a black BMW in the 1700 block of Westcott Road and took off with it. The stolen vehicle was later recovered in Lakeshore. The suspect is described as a white man with an average build. At the time of the incident, he was wearing a black sweater with the words "Death Row" on the back, green pants, and black shoes. Anyone with information is asked to contact Windsor Police or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Essex County OPP have closed County Road 50 near Baldwin Avenue in Harrow. There are downed trees and power lines in the area. Drivers are asked to avoid the area. Of course, it's windy outside along with rain. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us for a first look at the weather tonight from inside of our weather center tonight. Gary.
Gusty, cool, and windy. That's the story tonight. We anticipate some rain continuing earlier today. As I speak, those wind gusts were in the 40 to 50 range within the city, as you can see here. So still cool, still windy, all the result of this massive spin of low pressure. The core is very close to us in southern Ontario, and it looks like it's going to produce some snow on its reverse side through northwestern Ontario, even a wintry mix, freezing rain. Lake Superior shores. We're in a warmer slot, and that means more rain and a steady flow. It lingers through tonight and for tomorrow, so that means rain and cool, and it looks like temperatures below seasonal. Break down what you need to know to see if there's a nice recovery as the weekend sets up. That's coming up. For now, I'll send it back to the desk.
Respiratory illness season, otherwise known as the sneezing, wheezing season, is now upon us. And once again, the Windsor-Essex County Health Unit is encouraging the public to stay up to date with influenza, COVID-19, and RSV vaccinations.
What we see from the evidence and from years and years of vaccines being available to our population is that they are safe, they are effective, and to prevent days lost at work, days lost at school, and that's the most important thing for all of us to consider.
Dr. Mehdi Alouche says all 3 vaccines can be taken at the same time, and they are all free of charge. Right now, only high-risk individuals like infants, adults over 65, pregnant women, those in long-term care homes, and immunocompromised people can get their vaccines. But that changes October 27th. Then it's available to everyone. You can find a link and list of local pharmacies offering flu and or COVID-19 vaccines on our website. Dr. Alouche says those diseases aren't the only ones to be concerned about.
Stay home if you feel sick. There are other infectious diseases that they don't have vaccine, but the way to protect others is staying home and to stop transmission of the disease. Those viruses can still be very severe and dangerous for some of our people in our population.
So for our question of the day, we want to know if you plan to get vaccinated for the respiratory illness season. Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you are in favor of electronic voting for municipal elections. Out of almost 800 votes, 63% say no. In other news, it's National Foster Parent Appreciation Week, and the Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society says the need for new foster homes is critical. As CTV's Sanjay Maru reports, with fewer families available to help, staff say they're sometimes having to build plans from scratch.
The number of available foster homes in Windsor-Essex continues to drop, and that's leaving fewer options when children need somewhere safe to stay.
There's 0 wait time because we can't do that. Legislatively, when we have a child that comes into our care, we have to find a placement for them.
Derek Droulard says that shortage makes it harder to find the right environment for each child, particularly those with complex needs.
If we don't have a residential treatment facility for them, then we have to do our best to just create a placement.
In some cases, that means turning to what are called unlicensed placements outside the traditional foster system. These are not hotels, which were used in past years, but unique setups created when a suitable home just isn't available.
We're cobbling together plans as best as we can in order to continue to support children and youth. We've created a bedroom in our building at one point to support a child and youth because that child and youth needs are greater than the community can offer.
Right now, the Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society has 212 children in care and 80 foster homes throughout the region. Droulard says many longtime caregivers are retiring, while younger families affected by a higher cost of living are finding it more difficult to take on the role.
There is less interest in fostering. The historical model of fostering might be one parent is a stay-home parent, the other's working. In this day and age, that is now becoming more and more challenging.
And as the need continues to grow, the Children's Aid Society is asking anyone who's ever considered fostering to take that first step.
Kids need us. They need the support and love of a home and an opportunity to be cared for until they can get back to their own families.
In Windsor, Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
A downtown riverfront attraction celebrating Windsor's rich streetcar history is shutting down for the season. The city says the Legacy Beacon and Streetcar 351 will close November 1st and reopen May 1st of next year. CTV's Chris Campbell joins me now. And Chris, I didn't know this was going to be a seasonal attraction.
Yeah, Stephanie, I didn't either, and neither did many of the residents I spoke to today. Some are questioning why taxpayers are paying for something that won't be open half the year and why that wasn't made clear sooner.
Streetcar 351 is more than a century old.
Built in 1918 and restored as part of the $10.3 million Legacy Beacon project located between the Ambassador Bridge and downtown.
Our last public hours are on Sunday, October the 26th.
The attraction opened to much fanfare in the spring, the city calling it a destination to attract visitors and residents and displaying Windsor's early transit history. But now the city, citing low foot traffic during colder months, says the site will close for the winter season, reopening in May 2026.
Unfortunately, we do have a winter season in our area of Windsor, Essex. I know that it doesn't snow much, but it does get quite cold. And with that, we do see a drop in attendance. And so the reasoning of why we'd be closed for that season time.
Its hours of operation were reduced to just weekends after Labor Day.
Certainly, I wouldn't want to be, for example, the food vendor out there in, January, February, March, December.
The Legacy Beacon was part of Windsor's downtown revitalization strategy. During its inaugural season so far, 27,000 people have checked it out.
We also have another brand new activation that's opening as this one closes. So, it's from one to the other, and the next operation that's opening is also a seasonal outdoor skating rink. So, we go from one to the other. I don't think we're slowing down in any way. I think we're just pointing resources in the right places.
The streetcar will remain available for private bookings, but residents we spoke with were divided on whether that's enough.
Something that's going to be open for a few months, a couple of months of the year, and spending $10 million and $15 million on an ice rink, that's $25 million. That's a lot of money. That's the taxpayers that got to pay for all this nonsense, okay? And that, to me, is what it is, nonsense. Pure and simple, it's nonsense.
I actually thought it would be a year-round event. It's something worthwhile seeing and celebrating.
We never know what winter's going to be like in Windsor. It could be bad, it could be nice, but no, things happen. It has to happen. I think it's exciting that it's open for us to see now that it's been restored.
The city says Streetcar 351 will reopen in May, just ahead of the busy tourism season, and staff will review public feedback to see if longer hours or extended seasons make sense down the road. And Stefanie, let me know, you can still view the streetcar from outside throughout the winter months.
Okay, good to know. Chris Campbell tonight. Thank you, Chris. A new national study is pointing to Windsor as a key gateway for economic growth if federal container clearance services are expanded to inland ports. The study, commissioned by the Chamber of Marine Commerce, shows that making Windsor a designated port of first arrival could generate nearly $26 million in new business income, support for the region's EV battery manufacturing sector, and cut container transport costs by up to $3,000. Currently, CBSA marine inspections are limited to 5 coastal ports, creating bottlenecks and missed inland opportunities. The study argues that expanding access could not only boost local economies, but also relieve pressure on major ports, reduce emissions, and pay back federal investments in just months. Windsor stands to be a key player in a more efficient, resilient national trade system.
Windsor is a critical point in Canadian supply chain. The National Trade Corridor Fund invested to create a container terminal at Windsor Port, which is under construction now. It is the biggest land crossing in the country, and its marine facility, Port Windsor, can certainly take part of that load and increase the resiliency and economic potential of the region.
Blue Jays fans are now shifting their focus to Friday and the showdown between the Toronto Blue Jays and the LA Dodgers. CTV's Robert Lothian with a local look at how fans are gearing up for Game 1.
And a swing and a fly ball to left field.
With one swing of the bat, Toronto Blue Jays slugger George Springer helped book the team's first World Series trip in 32 years.
It's unfortunate that it's taken it this long to get back to it.
For longtime Blue Jays fan Pat Heaney, a return to the Fall Classic is long overdue, with memories of their last World Series run still on his mind.
Watching Joe Carter hit the home run to win it all.
A swing and a belt, left field, way back,
That was pretty amazing. I remember that night very well. I was in high school, and yeah, it was amazing.
Despite playing in Toronto, Blue Jays fans span across Canada, nearly 400 kilometers away from Monday night's series finale. Bob Riem says demand for team gear is off the charts.
Toronto been good all the way along. Now this is the next step, and it's been busy today with people looking for stuff and looking for the stuff they saw on TV last night.
In baseball-devoted Windsor, love for Canada's lone team isn't cut and dry. Stepping up to the plate across the Detroit River are the much-loved Tigers.
People grow up Tigers fans, you grow up Jays fans. It's kind of like a city divided. I feel like you grow up one or the other.
The head of St. Clair's men's baseball team says the fandom is split in Windsor, but with only the Blue Jays on the cusp of history, he says fans are likely all rooting for Canada's team.
If you're not a baseball fan, or if you don't necessarily have a team, if you're Canadian, you're going to root for the Blue Jays. They're Canada's team.
Heading into a series against the favored LA Dodgers, fans are optimistic about their chances, with perhaps more to win than just a trophy.
Even in the current political environment, Canada-US, I mean, that's a nice little nail to drive home there. That would be pretty nice.
Robert Lothian, CTV News.
Do you have a story idea? Share it with us. Send us a text at 10400. You can also send photos and videos too. A suspect in a homicide and Amber Alert is dead following an altercation with police. That's still ahead on Windsor's News Leader. Spending preview. With the budget looming, all eyes are on Mark Carney tonight as Ottawa's budget battle heats up. And tomorrow, planning for Halloween. Is your home ready for every trick-or-treater? The push for a more accessible Halloween. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Ontario's civilian police watchdog is investigating a police-involved shooting after an Amber Alert for a 1-year-old triggered a search and confrontation. CTV's Scott Hurst on a story that started with an incident of domestic violence.
This is where an overnight manhunt for an Amber Alert suspect ended in a deadly confrontation with police.
There was an interaction involving the man and the officers, and then there was a discharge of a firearm at the man. The man was struck multiple times.
The man was pronounced dead on scene outside this gas station in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Police in the region following up on tips on the whereabouts of 38-year-old Anthony DeShepe, the subject of an Amber Alert the day before in Brampton, more than 100 kilometers away.
The child subject of that Amber Alert was found safe in Niagara. However, the male subject of the Amber Alert was still outstanding.
The Amber Alert first went out Tuesday afternoon. A 29-year-old woman was fatally shot in this commercial plaza, allegedly by DeShepe, who then, according to police, took off with his 1-year-old child in the back seat. Investigators describe the homicide as an intimate partner-related incident. The shooting in a busy plaza in broad daylight, leaving many people shaken.
I was walking in the store and I heard gunshots.
I actually was in the store. I just heard a little bit of gunshots and it was very quick, probably 2 to 3.
CTV News has confirmed the woman's identity through family as Savannah Kula, a mother of 4 young children. The victim's mother and the rest of the family are now trying to support each other through this terrible tragedy.
I'm a nightmare. I'm a mess, but right now I'm just trying to hold it together. You know, I have 2 other kids and and I have 8 grandkids.
No officers were injured in the confrontation that led to the death of the Amber Alert suspect. Ontario's Special Investigations Unit is now looking into the incident, as it does every time police are involved in a shooting. In this case, it is an investigation overall that spans multiple crime scenes and police jurisdictions. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
A big day for Mark Carney with a primetime economic speech. The Prime Minister also met with the leaders of the Bloc and Conservative parties. CTV's Mike Locatour sets the scene for us.
What is the message you hope to convey to Canadians tonight with your address?
the message will be conveyed in the address. But
the Prime Minister was tight-lipped ahead of his evening speech, which is being given to students who are entering the workforce at a moment of rupture in our history.
We have to make major investments in our economic capacity and our trade capacity. And I haven't seen the speech, but I'm sure he'll be talking about some of those things.
CTV News has learned the speech will focus on 4 themes: diversifying trade partners away from the U.S., a new talent and immigration plan to fill the workforce's needs, climate, and the core principle of the budget, to spend less and invest more. After an early morning meeting with the Prime Minister, the leader of the Bloc Québécois said his MPs will support the budget if some key demands are met, including increasing health transfers to the provinces by more than $11 billion.
It's their responsibility and only theirs to find somebody to vote with them. They know our conditions, and if they wake up a little bit late, it's once again their problem.
Ahead of his meeting with the Prime Minister, the Conservative leader was open to collaboration.
And if he takes my suggestions of bringing down the deficit to the level the Liberal government promised, of getting rid of the hidden taxes on food, well, then let's have a look at it.
Now, if the Liberals can't get opposition support for November's budget, the government would fall, and there would be the second election in just 7 months. But multiple MPs say Canadians aren't in the mood for that. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
The 5 official candidates for the federal NDP leadership race will get a chance to sell themselves to a national audience tonight. Documentary filmmaker Avi Lewis, social worker Tennille Johnston, Alberta MP Heather McPherson, union leader Rob Ashton, and farmer Tony McQuail will take part in the party's first leadership forum in Ottawa. The NDP is coming off its worst ever election results last spring, when it won only 7 seats and lost official party status. U.S. President Donald Trump has responded to a New York Times report that he is seeking $230 million from the U.S. Justice Department for legal costs tied to federal investigations against him.
As far as all of the litigation and everything that's been involved, yeah, they probably owe me a lot of money. But if I get money from our country, I'll do something nice with it, like give it to charity or give it to the White House.
On Tuesday, the New York Times reported that Trump is demanding that the Justice Department compensate him for what he claims were politically motivated legal probes. The Times says the U.S. president has filed 2 administrative claims seeking damages for alleged violations of his rights. The first, submitted in 2023, challenges a U.S. special counsel and FBI investigation onto links between the Trump campaign and possible Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. The second, filed in 2024, accuses the FBI of violating Trump's privacy during a search of Mar-a-Lago for classified documents. A relatively quiet day on Bay Street. The TSX gained 94 points. A different story on Wall Street as the Dow was down 334. The Nasdaq fell 213. The dollar was up over 1/10 cent. Gold dropped 43.70 an ounce, and oil gained 126 a barrel. Coming up, what is leading to an alarming rate of burnout for both doctors and nurses?
Let's look at our CTV News snapshot tonight. Courtesy of yours truly, this is an ominous sky. Send pictures just like it if you can. We'd love to showcase them here on CTV News. We'll talk nasty, cold, wet, windy weather next.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Windy and cold out there with more rain to come. Gary joins me again for an extended look.
Looks like we are still windy in that gust Parameters somewhere between 35 and about 50 kilometers per hour. There's quite a disparity in terms of the wind strength. It is gusty throughout southern Ontario, but some areas are seeing higher gusts. More on that in just a moment. It's been a cool day, about 5 degrees below seasonal, gray, wet, and in fact, some people have said it's cold outside. Our average high, 14, but of course, with temperatures hovering around 10 degrees right now, it's not too bad outside. Unfortunately, we're still looking at some issues with respects to those winds. I'm going to have my producer and director just navigate my maps for me. The worst case scenario is that we'll see some light thunderstorms moving into extreme southwestern Ontario as well. Air quality has been good. It's a 1 out of 10. Haven't seen that too often the entire year. There's some issues with some of the reporting coming out of Windsor at the airport. I've seen temperatures fluctuating between 9 and 10. We're holding at 9 right now. 10 degrees in Chatham-Kent. Both areas are windy. We're looking at gusts in the 35 to 45 range as I speak. Cool across the prairies, and we're tapping into some of that colder air moving through northern Ontario, now invading our airspace in southern Ontario, with wind gusts still in that 30, I'd say 35 to 50 range through to 10, maybe even 11 o'clock tonight. Perfect textbook example of low pressure counterclockwise spin just hovering over the lower Great Lakes. There's snow on the reverse side of this. This system is producing snow in Kenora, Dryden, and Thunder Bay. We're in the warmer slot, hence the yield out of this system is rain, and we'll see persistent westerlies and northwesterlies tonight. The snow gets as close as perhaps even Sudbury or North Bay tonight and tomorrow morning. It's a rain story. Will be above the freezing mark, but the lows overnight in parts of southern Ontario, even though the rains are light, could mean we'll see some frost on the surfaces early tomorrow morning, with temperatures getting down to close to 0 degrees. We are between 8 and 9 degrees now and through to midnight. We're looking at some showers through the overnight and a windy, rainy day Thursday, high of 12, then sunny Friday, Saturday, 12s apiece. Sunday, 13, mostly cloudy showers possible. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a mixture of sun and cloud. And temperatures hovering between 12 and 14 degrees. Your 7-day forecast courtesy of Enercare.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
Canada is burning through its young nurses at an alarming rate and struggling to retain them, according to a new report from the policy think tank NEI. They say the number of job vacancies tripled between 2018 and 2023, which puts more pressure on an already stressed system. And simply training more nurses won't solve the problem. They say better working conditions and flexibility are needed. Meantime, another study found for Canadian doctors it's the increasing amounts of paperwork that is the major source of burnout. The study consulted around 500 physicians over the summer. 72% said non-clinical administrative work was a significant driver of workplace exhaustion. 77% said their administrative workload was reducing the time they can spend with patients. The research follows warnings from the Canadian Medical Association that 2/3 of doctors are spending more time on those tasks than they did 5 years ago. Grow on Windsor is back for another year of bold beards and big hearts. The annual November campaign, run by the Windsor Cancer Center Foundation, encourages men across the community to grow out their facial hair in support of local cancer care. Launched in 2014, the fundraiser has become a signature event, raising both awareness and funds for the cause. But it's not just about the beards. Organizers say anyone can join in by forming teams, creating promotions, and taking part in friendly fundraising challenges, all to help our neighbors facing a tough diagnosis stay closer to home.
Cancer came back 3 times, but so did I. I wasn't going to back down then, and now I'm asking you to stand together with me so the next person who hears the words, "You have cancer," can also say, "But I'm home and I'm not alone."
Windsor's Kyle Prepelic returns to the UFC, but was victory stolen after a low blow? That's coming up on Windsor's News Leader. It's time for a weekly segment on the sidelines, of course, with Bob Belichico. Bob, so much going on right now and some big games coming up.
Big games and a lot of games coming up for the Windsor Spitfires. They have 3 home games in the next 4 nights coming up. Windsor looking to rebound after losing to Sarnia, their only second loss of the season. Now, let's just call it last week an off week for the Spit, shall we? They needed overtime to beat the Sting last Friday in Sarnia, then lost 5-3 on Saturday. Their strength and conditioning coach, Rob Maggio, has been working on some things into the routine to get the Spits ready for Ottawa, Owen Sound, and Saginaw.
It was obviously a short week before that with the game on Sunday, so yeah, I think focusing on that stuff tomorrow will be big because 3 games in 4 days is a lot, so we want our bodies to be healthy.
Ottawa's been playing really well, a young, hardworking team. Owen Sound, obviously, we lost to earlier in Owen Sound, and yeah, Saginaw's got some good guys that they brought in this year, and they're looking pretty good. So it'll be a good test for us to see how we can handle 3 games in 4 days. It's going to be tiring against 3 good teams, but excited.
And the playoffs are ramping up at St. Clair College. The women's soccer team looking good heading into the championship weekend.
Yeah, I saw them play twice last week, playoff games, and they look really good. Now, the Saints finished first in the West this season. A big win last weekend now has them hosting the OCAA Final Four. Go figure. The Saints beat Durham last weekend on the strength of 2 first-half goals. Talia Liberti with a great shot right there. Then it was Natalie Kersey using her speed down the wing to set up Lily Jazz for the shot. St. Clair will play Humber at Acumen Stadium Saturday at noon. Mark it down on your calendar. Head coach Stefanie likes the matchup against the Hawks, who finished 3rd in the West.
Humber, I highly respect a team like Humber. Humber, Seneca, Centennial. They're all 3 great teams. Respect them very highly, but I also believe in my team. So I think it's going to be a great matchup, and the best team is going to win.
What a great touchdown there by Marcilio Mendez from Matt Gannett. The football team is heading to Okanagan for the CJFL semifinals. The Saints shut out Hamilton in a rocker last weekend, 54-0 in the OFC final. St. Clair beat the Sun at home last year for the national title. Both teams were dominant this season in their divisions.
Oh, they have been a great team all year. It's going to be a battle. We got to lock in our practice and be there to watch the game. It's going to be a great game from us in Okanagan, and I can't wait.
They're big and fast, just like we are. They've got great skill position guys. They're big on the force unit. They're well coached. It's like that Spider-Man meme where 2 Spider-Mans are looking at each other. You. It's kind of the same thing we're playing ourselves, and it's going to be our biggest challenge to date.
And the Lancers football team also in playoff mode.
I said it a few weeks ago. Can you smell it in the air? Playoff football coming to Alumni Field. This weekend, they are hosting playoffs. The Windsor Lancers are. Let me show you how they got that opportunity.
The hold is good. The kick is up. The kick is good.
Can't say enough about Brady Lidster, who nailed a 50-yard field goal for the win against Queens last weekend. I call that retribution from last year. The Lancers finished 5-3 and will host Ottawa Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. at Alumni Field. Windsor beat Ottawa 2 weeks ago on the road, so expect this one to be a barn burner on Saturday.
Our defense is playing lights out right now, and we got to keep that going. Our special team's been real strong, helping us win some games, and I feel this past week was probably our best offensive output. So if we can get all 3 phases going, hopefully it's a positive outcome.
With a packed crowd.
Want everyone there, wearing their blue, making it happen.
Okay, switching to MMA, a local fighter's return to the UFC didn't go as planned.
Yeah, this was a tough one, too. You know, Windsor's Kyle Prepelic was back in action. He was just getting his feet under him when he was hit below the belt.
Dober understands the assignment if he wants to win. Mouth guard is out for Prepelic.
That's
Dober unloading.
the ref cannot stop in here to give him the mouthpiece.
Elbows and now an uppercut.
We don't see the low blow, but Prepelic was in Vancouver last weekend for UFC Fight Night 262. He lost the first round, rebounded in the second, had momentum in the third until he took the low blow from his opponent, Drew Dober. After taking a few minutes to try and recover, a well-rested Dober went to town, closed the deal for the win. According to a report, Prepelic did get an extra $50K for the hit below the belt.
They say, oh, you got 5 minutes to recover. No, I'm trying to recover from an illegal blow and injury. The other guy's resting. He's just getting an extra break. He gets his breath back because he was winded while I'm on the ground trying to not throw up and get my feet under me.
Yeah, he got squared. It was that was a tough one to watch, and I feel bad for him because he probably could have rode that momentum to a win.
Yeah, his face looks awful, poor guy. Yeah, no one wants to take that type of hit. Okay, we also obviously have to talk about the Blue Jays heading to the World Series for the first time in 30 years.
Of course, and you know what? It's great for the city of Toronto, great for Canada. The Blue Jays are soaring right now. Game 1, Friday night at the Rogers Centre. CTV's Heather Wright shows us how the Dodgers and the Jays match up.
Tinseltown versus Hogtown, Hollywood versus, well, Hollywood North. The World Series heads to Toronto this week. 2 teams, 2 cities, but only 1 champion.
Nervous, a little bit of an upset tummy, but I think we can do it. I think the Blue Jays have more spirit. They play like the team is even all the way down from 1 to 9, and they play like a team.
As they were at the start of the season, the Dodgers are the betting favorites to win their 2nd World Series title in as many years.
She's gone!
Well, the Blue Jays have gone from worst to first, finishing dead last in the American League in 2024 to winning it all this year.
I think that it's anybody's game, and I think the Jays are the underdogs, and the underdogs always come out.
The LA Dodgers have won 8 World Series in their history compared to 2 for the Toronto Blue Jays. And when it comes to payroll, both teams may be big spenders, but LA has doled out far more cash for stars like Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts.
The Dodgers' payroll is closer to $350 million, whereas the Blue Jays is about $250. You know, so $100 million, that's a huge gap, right? That's another Shohei Ohtani or 2, right, that they can afford with that difference.
And while the Dodgers took the season series against the Blue Jays 2-1, the Jays have the better regular season record and have earned home field advantage because of it, which at least one statistician says gives the Jays a slight edge.
I did a simple statistical model and just tried to put it all together. I'm currently estimating Toronto with a 52.46% chance of winning the World Series.
At the end of the day, though, there really is only one number that matters, and that is 4. 4 games to win the World Series. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Thanks, Heather. And of course, City Councilor Ronaldo Agostino is spearheading a watch party at City Hall Square Friday night. Of course he is. Live music, beer garden, 30-foot video screen, heaters, food truck. The invite is open for everyone to hang out.
Like, it's going to be such a fun thing. And there's a lot of people who haven't seen the new Civic Square here yet. So it's going to be an amazing event. We're going to have everything in blue and white, including the water. So for Jays fans, for baseball fans, and even if the odd Dodger fan wants to show up, because I know there's like 1 or 2 of those that exist around here, they're invited too.
I'm really excited. Yeah.
We know who that one fan is. Paul McDonald from AM 800.
Exactly, exactly. We have a lot of fans here in both stations, AM 800 and CTV, that are huge Blue Jays fans. I'm really excited about this location. The first time we're going to have a watch party there.
Yeah, that'll be really cool to see the big screen right in front of City Hall. I've been to events down at the City Hall Square during their music nights, and it's a lot of fun. The vibe is really cool down there. So if you get a chance, even if you're not a baseball fan, just go there just to see it. Soak it in and enjoy it.
Yeah, we did have some Lions watch parties before in the past. The excitement is so incredible, breathtaking. I'm excited. Hopefully I can get there, bring my kids along as well, just to have some fun and just be in that atmosphere, have a couple cocktails before, who knows?
Who knows? But it's going to be a good series, I think. Who wins? Let's flip that one up in the air. You saw the disparity in the payroll.
A difference of $100 million, a lot.
Oh, my goodness. Who knows where this is going to go, so go Jays, though.
Okay, thank you, Bob Belichico, for On the Sidelines tonight.
5K a day is back on 93.9
Virgin Radio.
Listen to Hannah and Johnny in the morning for your chance to win $5,000
Every weekday.
5K a day.
Virgin Radio.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Join us for an evening of trick-or-treating, pumpkin painting, Halloween safety tips, candy, and so much more at the Children's Safety Village, Thursday, October 23rd. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Borelli. And Melanie, we were just talking with Bob Belichico. A lot of excitement around the Blue Jays, but there's a lot of excitement for film lovers as well. The Windsor International Film Festival kicking off.
Yeah, there sure is, Stephanie. WIFF this year will showcase 231 feature films from over 50 countries, offering something for every taste, from indie gems to international award winners. Screenings will take place across 3 downtown venues, and if you're overwhelmed by the options, the WIFF team is ready to help. They say just reach out on social media for personalized film recommendations. Tickets are available now online or at the WIFF box office, but with so many films and limited seats, organizers say don't wait. The festival runs for 11 days, and new this year, speakers will be set up outside the venues, so the sounds of WIFF will run through the downtown streets.
One thing we're really excited to reveal is we've got brand new outdoor speakers that we're hanging outside of all of our venues. So for all 11 days of the festival, as our audience is running around between films and catching some food, there's going to be like music playing the whole time, almost like running around to a soundtrack all through all the 11 days downtown.
We've got more WIFF details at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
You know, WIFF is one of my favorite events to have right here in the city, so can't wait. So we also have a story online about Offender Management Unit. It's not just doing well, it's actually exceeding provincial expectations.
Yeah, that's right. Windsor Police say the stats show that proactive crime prevention works. Their Offender Management Unit is a Windsor-LaSalle partnership. In the last 19 months, they've conducted over 70% more bail compliance checks than their provincial benchmark and monitored nearly 6 times their target number of offenders. You can find more of those stats on our website. And in our social spotlight, when your kids asked if you used to be able to dance.
Awesome. Oh my God! You better kill it! You better kill it! Show me something! 5, 6, 7, 8, go, 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 go!
Whoa, this dad still got it, busting out those moves like the Running Man to a little CNC music factory.
My God, yeah, I love how he just pushes the kid down at the couch saying like, listen, you have no clue how good I am at dancing. Look at, he's still going. He's having a great time. Hopefully the kids can, you know, catch on and steal some of their dad's moves as well.
Maybe he can teach them the Running Man.
Okay, if viewers have any video at home they want to send to you, how can they do it?
Yeah, they can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Now, would you want a piece of Muppet history? For the first time ever, the creators of the Muppets are opening the vault. Details when we return. Yeah, those winds, very gusty.
It's dark and gray and cool, the kind of day that elicits a mood like not being able to sign in on your computer because you're having password problems. But I digress. Let's talk about rain tonight and wind. And the probabilities are high that we're still cool and windy and wet through tonight through tomorrow morning. But the good news is Friday and Saturday, a return to sunshine. Cool temperatures the next 3 days, slightly below seasonal by about 3 degrees. 12, 12, and 12 Thursday through to Saturday. Sunday up to 13, mostly cloudy, about a 30 to 40% chance of showers. And then fair weather, mixture of sun and cloud for the most part. Monday, Tuesday, 14 and 12, and then clouding over a bit. Wednesday, a week from now, 14, your 7-day forecast courtesy of Intercare.
Okay, thank you, Gary. You are taking over, Travis, for us tonight. We just finished the LaSalle by-election. Now we have another by-election we're focusing on.
Yeah, that's right. We're also following the developing news that meteorologist Gary Archibald is not able to log into his computer. But more importantly, the Ward 2 by-election just around the corner. That's coming up on Monday with low voter turnout out in LaSalle. The city is really hoping that they can get some voters to come out to the polls. We'll have some tips on how folks can prepare to cast their ballots.
Okay, Travis, Gary, huge question. Do you remember the Muppets? We're talking Kermit the Frog, Gonzo, of course, Gonzo the Great, and those two grumpy old guys in the theater. I think you can relate to those. Well, my favorite was, of course, Miss Piggy. Take a look.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight.
Doesn't this song just make you want to stand up, sing, and dance? The Jim Henson Company today confirmed it's offering up a selection of Muppets, props, and memorabilia to members of the public for the first time ever. Now, the company behind the Muppets and Fraggle Rock and other classics says more than, listen to this, 400 items will be up for sale at its Hollywood headquarters. This happening next month to mark its 70th anniversary. I can't believe it's 70 years. Proceeds will go towards preserving the Jim Henson Company's archives. Obviously, that's very important for, of course, future generations to come. Brings back so many memories.
Oh, yes. And Sesame Street obviously tied very closely to the Muppet Show. 1969, when it first, Sesame Street was first unveiled. Of course, the year of my birth. And I'm very fond of all things Jim Henson and Frank Oz and that great group. And I love Grover. He's my favorite.
Yeah, you just aged yourself as well.
That's right.
Anything to add, Travis?
Well, the Muppets are still around.
I
You can
know.
still see them on Disney Plus and all that.
I know.
Stuff coming out all the time.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast at 11.
Miss
That's
Piggy.
if I can sign in.